Okay, folks, we will get this program on the way very shortly. My man, the Liberal Progressive, is already sitting down. The race has officially kicked off in Liberia. That's a senatorial race right there. Political leaders are making pronouncement, proclamation, and let's see what's going to happen. And we're going to have a conversation here. It's already in the making here, so we're going to be having a conversation here this evening. Hopefully,
all right. Good afternoon. Ladies and gentlemen, we want to use this opportunity to welcome all of you on this day of November 2020. We invite you here today for a special moment. We are here, we like to silence. Whenever we remember child walk around one of our heroes. So let's silence. Thank you very much. Today in the press conference, we're He will be started over by Senator Darrell Long, Montserrat County most knowledge senator. He will be speaking to issues surrounding his campaign and other critical national issues. After he has concluded, we will take one or two questions from the media. It is now my singular honor, as it has always been, to present to you Montserrat Senator Senator Darrell Long for the statement for the press. Mr. Senator.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen of the press, fellow Liberians and abroad, what a God glory for yet another day. Going has to mark exactly 1 year since we lost our vision bearer and founding father. At Liberty Party, physical presence is no longer us, Charles King. Want to take this moment to observe a few moments of silence to his memory.
Welcome. Are you hearing me something?
Yes, I hear you.
Okay, all right. Welcome. Let me make sure here whether we don't have echo here this evening here. Quite a little while I haven't come to this other part of the system. Okay, everything looks good. Okay, the Liberal Progressive. What are you doing with the county?
When I come on, especially when you're hosting me or I'm on any program that you're going to be on, I have to bring my cocktail.
Is it out of fear?
Definitely not.
You look nervous. You invited me. Remember, I am the host here this evening. I am in charge. Because I know you're going to have some of your liberal here this evening who are going to start going out of the... What is God doing? You taking your jacket to fight?
This is the jacket as a president you wear when you're going out in the field.
Oh my goodness. Okay, the Liberal Progressive. Good evening. Welcome. Quite a late while, even though for whatever reason you decided to escape, but you know you can't escape from me. Neither I can escape from you. Okay. There's a reason here that I played that tape. We're going to have a take here as usual from our folks. It's going to be an open mic here, but there are a few things here we have on the plate, which of course you can enjoy yours as well. According to the calendar, the official calendar of the National Elections Commission, 17 days, right, to the most consequential and I would say prelude to 2023 elections in Liberia. Are you getting nervous? You are Liberty partisan.
No, I'm not, but Mr. So you have to look at your audio, look up on the three dots while you're in the audio section. Go on to the three dots, and you should be able to turn the other microphone stuff off, and then that will take you away with the
as far as it's already off. It's already off. Probably that's just a replay. But I think I'm good. I'm listening to it. I'm getting the feedback from myself. It was there initially, but I took care of that.
Okay.
So don't deploy tactics here, as another way to boycott or to sort of kill the substance here. Yeah, so let's get to the point. I'm looking at my dashboard here. Audio fans, follower, please give us feedback if there's anything that we need to fix. So it seems that you're getting nervous. Your guy, Darius Dillon, is in a fight, both Morovia, the Montserrat, and Grand Bassett. But there's a bizarre thing here. So 17 days. Any prediction from you?
Everything that had to do with the progressive will be winning, Mr. So. There is no question asked. Liberians are now ready to move forward. They want to try new stuff. And so I didn't have Mr. Dillon for the time he was there. The people in Mossoraro County, they enjoy his service, and they're going to keep him. There's nothing any of these people are going to do. The CDC, sedition, they can't intimidate anybody. The voter himself will overwhelmingly re-elect Senator Dillon, because Senator Dillon have not done anything that will bring disgrace to that office. All Senator Dillon have done in the eyes of the international community. Senator Dillon has, in fact, put Mossoraro County on the map. So there's nothing the T5 group and the rest of the people have on Senator. They're not going nowhere.
So, do you believe you have real apprehensions over the electors in Liberia as to how they process their vote, how they come to a conclusion to take a vote, whether it's been done on the issues at stake, or what basis is one thing that I still have apprehension? Do you trust the electors in Liberia in making informed decisions, looking at critical things that are affecting the country?
Of course. These are the people that continue to go to the poll. They have the responsibility of electing people that they believe in. And I think, this is not 2005. This is way past that. The majority of the voters in Liberia are young and sophisticated. Don't listen to the noise in the market. Don't listen to the noise in the market. Senator Dillon is going to be overwhelmingly re-elected.
But is it fair to also say the last time around, the challenger to that of Darius Dillon, now Senator Darius Dillon, Paulina Wie, was a very unknown name. It took so many time for people to figure out who she was. But in the case of Thomas Fala, the person that they have put forward with so much of resources, they have dish out millions of dollars on the counter for, and that's one of the things I'm kind of shocked at, the manner in which campaign is being conducted in Liberia. None of those people, they don't make disclosure to their donors. Money just come in anytime. Both parties, the opposition, the government does out of the same thing here. Is there some sort of apprehensions in terms of this time around CDC a little bit figure out who to put forward, or can we just cut the cake now?
Not at all, Mr. So. In fact, the first time when Senator Dillon was seeking the office, we were nervous because Senator Dillon had never been tested. Now that he has been tested and passed the test of the people of Mossoraro, they can bring Dr. Weah and his people can bring all of the information, whatever they have. Money, it doesn't matter. The people of Mossoraro County, they're going to elect someone that will make sure to shine the lights on the issue in the Republic of Liberia. And nothing, Thomas Fala, what is he going to show us that he has not shown when he was representative? What Thomas Fala going to bring in today that is different from what he was doing at the Small House? What is it that he's bringing on the table that will be different than what he did in the Small House? The only thing I can tell you that most likely will be different is that they're trying, CDC and the coalition are trying their best to increase their number, and then they're going to employ the statement Samuel Kwal used the last time, benevolent dictator. That's exactly what they're trying to do, because they will not have numbers. So Dr. Weah and whatever program they have, they're not going to have any kind of opposition. They're not going to have anybody to look at it, and then they will employ the idea of a benevolent dictator. And this is why
I have come to
Liberians
realize it seems to
were so
be
happy
you Elola, you found out
to use that language, open their eyes, and they will overwhelmingly reject that notion of the benevolent dictator, and they will get the position back to Darius Dillon.
you are being kind of successful within your own domain, using this benevolent dictator to find it like a real electric coil and just wrap it around Samuel Tuwe. But Samuel Tuwe is not in the race. And my point of argument here, Mr. Toll, hold on, you don't do this here this morning. I was patient, I was tolerant, and I listened to you. But my concern here, are you convinced the electorates, are they sophisticated enough? That's your most favorite word you like to use. The electorates of Liberia, Mosorado County, are they sophisticated enough to look beyond the scope, to look beyond the bubbles that you are kind of like focusing on? Are they looking at that? Or are they looking at, do you think so?
Definitely, Mr. So. And I think many of you will be surprised at the level of sophistication with the young Liberians nowadays. You will be surprised. You think that thing they do in CDC, are cooking more pot of rice and then who said no. Those are the people that CDC tried to hold front. But in the real analysis, when things are ready, it is sophisticated young Liberians residing in Mosorado County will overwhelmingly support Dallas Dillon and re-elect Dallas Dillon. Here's the reason why. So, as I said before, and I'm not trying to just justify whatever it is, Dallas Dillon have not done anything wrong as far as I'm concerned. If you've been on the news, Facebook lately, how many times a Congress Gray will come up with one check issue? How many times? It's not going to hold. So what
my point here is something.
To throw the mud on the wall and for something to see. Well, if you're going to throw the mud on the wall, don't expect things to stick. Liberians are sophisticated enough. This is not the days of two-week party, but 11 dictator ain't happening. It's not going to work. The young Liberians are sophisticated. They have learned and continue to learn. What they're trying to show to the CDC, say, bring it on. You want to give us money? Fine, we'll take it. But in turn for us to give you a vote, it's going to be a different issue. So you will be surprised. We got this thing in the bag.
Oh boy. Politics, it is not over until it is over. Or you get it in the bag. That suggests to me that the win is already guaranteed. Is that what you are making reference to here?
No, nothing is guaranteed. Nothing is guaranteed. So when I say we got it in the bag, in other words, the process of us winning, getting the victory, that process has already started. There's nothing that Dr. Weah and the CDC will do to derail this process. They will not make it. They will not make it. They can go and build all the artists in Mosorado County. All of them connecting one house to another. No good drainage system. They put the road down, political road. And I have been involved in some of the design anyway. But I call them political roads because they put them down in order to run a campaign. They're not putting the road down in Mosorado County to help the people of Mosorado County. Far from it. Because if you're doing something, you will do it right.
I like the statement.
But that's not the issue. The point that I'm making here this afternoon, Mr. Dillon, Liberians and the international community have seen how he operates. This young man, the people who say he no go, they say the mainstream high school, but he continue to share the light of the ills of our society. Continue to share the light from the government that is unable to be able to help these young children to be able to be employed, gain employed. That's going to continue to share that light, and based on that fight, we're sure that the young people will understand who's doing good for them and who's in it for themselves. And this is the point that I'm making this afternoon, Mr.
So you potentially considering the probability that he maybe Dillon, people are going to take that into consideration. Is that your calculation?
What do you mean? What do you mean?
No,
In
my
terms of
my
what?
concern here, the voters are they looking at those issues that you are making to reference to? And I like the statement here by Mr. Bill Carlson here. Carlson said, "If the wise do not vote, the fools will rule." So the wise in that they might be able to scrutinize, to look at
Mr.
these two
So.
candidates.
Mr. So,
Yeah.
you're not joining come lately into the journalist business. You're a wise man, and you're a wise man.
Am I the one going to vote?
Hold on,
Something
hold
to-
on, hold on. Let me finish my point. And you're a wise man's son. And the old man taught you how to be wise. So I'm not taking this thing lightly. Now, I know you have been firing on a very serious note. You've been firing down Dylan from point to point, from point A to point B. Most of the young people you find out that are in the gathering, they are not just there to sing song and eat palm butter and go home. No, they are there to pick the knowledge of Mr. Dillon. They are there to ask questions for Mr. Dillon to explain to them the process, thereby giving them good information for which they can base their vote on. These children are not stupid. Let me go back again. Tom Fowler has been in the House of Representatives for how long? Am I even going to go through that? Well, what is it that he has done in the House of Representatives that he's going to amplify in the Senate that perhaps will benefit the people of Australia country more than what he has done? Tom Fowler College. Let's see it again. Let me say this again. Tom Fowler College, Tom Fowler University, not university by Nigeria. This is a university owned by Tom Fowler. So why not stupid? And these young people are not stupid. You can't sell that to them. To say if you want to sell it to them, then Tom Fowler must turn the ownership over to the Liberian government. Then now it becomes Liberian property. That way we can say that Tom Fowler helped to build a university. What Tom Fowler is coming in the Senate to do what? To increase the numbers of Dr. Weah and CDC. Now, with that number increases, if you listen to Senator Madagascar, he said, we want Dr. Weah, you have to give him a mandate so that nobody can challenge him, so that people will be afraid of him because you got the numbers on our side. Is that why you young people must rather look to give numbers to Dr. Weah so people can be afraid of him, so people will not question what is happening? Is that what you want? This is Tom Fowler not going in there for 2 years, 9 years. You're going to tell me you're going to be sitting there for 9 years just because the Lebanon dictator is coming to town. Please, the young people are not stupid. This is politics, and this is the reason why some of us will come on our own platform from time to time. We say this government must stay in power until the time the Constitution allows, and we will open our. I have bind up for the error that CDC and Dr. Weah have made over the years, and we will deal with it. I'm just giving you a few infos.
Okay, let's digress here because I hate to have this sort of a commentary after the match, then it becomes an obituary announcement here. Let's digress here a little bit and look at the sightings of this whole electoral process, the 20th senatorial electoral process here. As far as you are concerned, it was just yesterday or day before the NEC made her official declaration following the Supreme Court stay order that made that declarations. And there are a lot of clouds, a lot of things been happening within the scope at the time the order was in effect. Do you believe the process will be free, will be transparent? Is the level fee now? Is open? Is it clear? Because, and the reason I'm asking this question here, I haven't seen most of these people, they have not raised a concern, even if they talk it, to what extent they have expressed it, and their apprehensions about the entire process. I have a statement here from one of the senatorial candidates. LPRI and African Star did issue a position in the past as Sia Tanapoli withdrew from the process. contesting in the Moserado senatorial seat, and she outlined most reasons why she's getting out of the race because the process seemed not to be transparent. NDC did not create the conducive atmosphere. So it means she has taken a definitive position of how she feels about the process. We have the rest of the folks, they are all contesting now. Would they come back tomorrow in the event, whatever going to be the outcome of this election, to say, this election is not free and fair? Would that be a good deal?
Mr. So, let me give it to you one by one because you put a lot on my plate. So just bear with me, be patient with me, and I will also be patient with you. The fact that you have a conservative mindset approaching me as a liberal, I will be very, very polite to you, and I will also show a difference as a conservative person. I will show you that we liberal, we do not just come on the stage because we believe we're right or wrong. We try to give you more than just right or wrong. Let's take it one step at a time. The idea of the voters, themselves, they're young, but do not take the age because of their youth. Do not take that for granted. These young youth are sophisticated. They have seen a lot in their lifetime. And so they are quite aware of what is happening in Liberia. So they're being involved in this process, not because they're gullible. These young people will surprise all of you. Because they're coming into this process, they have a clear understanding of what this thing is about. Now, Tomo Fala's coming in to this position. I said it again, and I will say it again. The position that Tomo Fala is seeking is to increase the level of steamroll by Dr. Weah and the CDC. In other words, nobody should resist, nobody should say nothing. This is not two-way party. Two-way party time is over. This is the time for intellectual engagement. Now, the Supreme Court ruling, Mr. So, just look at it from a liberal perspective. The Supreme Court ruling.
Unfortunately,
I'm not a liberal. To say, see the government is running. No. The state, we have three branches of government. The judiciary is there. The lawmaker came out and specified specifically states in order for you to have a referendum, you must have specified issue. So the voter themselves, you say something to is not going to America, referendum 1. Something to must sleep in total to net, referendum 2. You can't combine it because the lawmakers have already specified. But what Dr. Weah and his people decided to do, they decided to take all of them and combine them into 3 stages. You think Liberians are stupid? This is not two-way party. These Liberians are sophisticated. So the opposition said, look at the man. You think you're coming to cause steamroll us? It ain't happening. The Supreme Court last week got an egg in their faces from the ECOWAS community. And they are very much aware of it. So in fact, when that case came to them, for me, they feel like, oh, it's time to redeem ourselves. Because the case was clear court. The Supreme, the executive, you cannot take the legislative process and then turn it around as an executive output. No, it doesn't happen. If you want to be, we gotta be careful, but let me detect that. This is how it started. The lawmaker made the law about the referendum. One of them was dual citizenship, and they have many of them. But Dr. Weah and the executive, they felt within themselves they are more powerful than the 2 other branches of government. Where you think this is total? This is the Republic of Liberia. This is not a banana republic. Donald Dillon continues to show, and he will win based on these facts. when Dr. Williams and the executive decide, okay, we're going to just mango, put it together, let it do a vote. The smart people in Liberia said, no. That's not what the lawmakers say. The lawmakers say there are 8 items. Don't come put it together and give us 3. So, if you go cassava meat and you decide to put palm butter on me, why if I don't like palm butter? But because you're giving me cassava meat in a bowl, full up with palm butter on me, and I'm prepared to eat palm butter now. You're making me to break my law. What kind of business is this?
You don't?
And so the Supreme Court
You
said,
don't?
no. We're not going to play the economy. The lawmakers say,
Something to
item by item. Don't come in here and try to mango it and then think that people should vote. This is not a republic of the banana republic. And based on these facts, that the executive was engaged by the opposition.
Hello?
You see what I'm going with this afternoon?
Hello?
So, Father, what is he bringing on the table that he hasn't brought on the table when he was representative?
Mr. To, are you listening to me?
What exactly can you guys tell us?
Samson
That
To.
is continue to shine the light on these ill in the society.
Samson,
Yes.
are you listening to me or you just want to be running like...
Mr. So, I'm a little bit fired now. Go ahead.
Oh, my goodness. You fire out, you're supposed to be in Liberia by this time to be in the forefront of the campaign.
I don't
You
have
sit
to.
down, you have to.
be
This is the
You
disappointing
can take me from
aspect.
Liberia, but you cannot take Liberia out of me.
Yeah, because your president, your vote is already managed. You should be in Liberia by this time here to be crying and all of you now putting palm butter and this and that. Probably you're a crime man, you want to eat palm butter, so the appetite is calling for palm butter now. But what I'm saying here, I want us to have a conversation because I know you. You're going to come right back here to eat crow to give justification of all of the failures. And those are things I'm trying for us to put on the table. Will you give me a chance, please? Will you give me?
Do you know something we don't know? Why do you think I said God is not going to win and he said I'm going to come back to eat crow?
You're not taking it. You're not taking it. No, listen. You are.
Information that we don't know about?
Yes, and just be patient, be tolerant. I'm going to reveal that. Why? You have taken a political line. You are a commentator, you are an anchor, and you are not taking a holistic approach. You already took side, which of course is evident that your candidate will win, which is fine. But I'm also putting on the table for us to look at all of the pros and cons and all of the circumstances. In fact, you are deliberately ignored the fact that this election, as far as I'm concerned, is being conducted under a very household and unconducive atmosphere with all of these bad, the killings, the harassment, and all going. The government has not created any conducive atmosphere for people to campaign freely. You fail to address all of these issues. You will come back here tomorrow, Samson To, and then you will start crying wolf. These are things I'm trying to get you on the road. You do not want to. I understand it, but let's look at this here. And somebody, hold on. Can I make my point, please? Can I make my point?
Can I say something, please?
Can I make my point, please?
All right, go ahead.
I am. It's your program, but I remember I am in charge here tonight. Okay, so you either work with me or I'm just gonna use a one click of a button and you be gone, and that's it. Simple as it is. How's that? Do you agree?
The conservative view.
Do you
they
agree?
don't like people to challenge it. The conservative are always one place will let you go. Yes, Donald Trump. We're trying to force him out of the White House because of a conservative idea.
Oh,
Donald Trump will be beating like a drum, but he refused. And this is what the conservative will do for you. They don't understand that these things are politics, and politics is nothing personal.
All I'm saying
here, just like you don't understand. Go ahead.
All I'm saying here, Samson To, today, tomorrow, tonight, morning, afternoon, I just do not trust Liberia, the voters in Liberia. They can do anything, anytime, and you just, in fact, I mean, that's who they are.
No, Mr. So, I didn't lie. I said liberal.
No, I'm not saying you. Listen, I'm saying
why you becoming condescending to my voter? We will not allow that. We will not allow you to sound so condescending to the Liberian voter. You don't trust them. Who will you trust? Who
I
do
don't-
you trust?
but
These
that's
are
why-
people
will
that
you be
are
tell-
working
will
to
you
bring
be-
us good government, and then you say you don't trust it.
Will you be tolerant and listen to me? We are having a civil conversation.
Yeah,
I
but
guess
that's
it-
not to be condescending.
It's
No,
not
I'm
about
not
being
gonna-
confident.
Please.
That's the problem you Liberian people have. You are here to be told the truth. I am telling you, I do not trust their political judgment in terms of making wise decisions to vote for what is right. Doesn't that make sense? It doesn't make sense?
So,
Lift your hair and talk to me.
yes.
It doesn't make sense what I'm saying?
Look ahead. Be careful. Be careful. Be careful, Mr. Soul. This is what I'm going to tell you.
Okay.
Listen.
All right. Let's see here. This guy here. I want to play a clip here. Do you think because we try to the political advisor to Senator Dillon, Abel Plaki, who is a friend, I've been reaching out. They are not responding. Do you think because do you think Darius Dillon and Senator Dillon and Representative they, as far as I'm concerned, they are the major contenders, right? In most
Let me make one thing clear as we continue to have this civil discussion. I am not here representing Liberty Party. I am not here representing Darius Dillon. I am here as a liberal. I am a member of Liberty Party.
Why are you running away from your shadow?
I am not, no. So I'm not, whatever that I'm saying here, I'm saying it based on the fact of my own engagement to the public. Because I'm also,
Do you support the
most of the social media platform every day. So I know.
Okay. So do you support the initiative
It's
of
not
Dillon?
something supplied to me from Monrovia or whatever. So I'm not speaking for Darius Dillon team. I don't even know who I am. But I'm being factual and I'm being
Because
true.
you refuse for them to know you. You sit down here in Sacramento and drinking ice water, drinking juices. Look at your table there is full. And that's the problem. That's the disappointment that I have, even with the both government and the opposition people supporter. You're supposed to be in Liberia by this time to be running here. Now, there are 10 candidates within the Mosorato slot they're contesting. One is Ausia Tanapolit for sure, based on the letter that I received. We will be having OSO 9 is remaining. In fact, I'll be hosting one of the candidates tomorrow at 4 o'clock, 9 Eastern Liberia, Isaac Vatoga. Do you think Senator Dillon and Representative Fala will like home in a debate? You think?
I doubt it. I doubt if Representative Fala will bring himself to that level, build himself for Liberians to have the opportunity to question. I doubt it. Now, here's the interesting thing. They said that in high school. Let's go debate now. Show yourself. You see, when was the last time you saw
You're being a little bit judgmental. I just asked you a simple question.
When was the last time you saw CDC member of their whatever they have on the debate stage? Even the educated CDC, they're scared to debate. They don't like debate because debate are not their soup, so they don't go debate.
To manage with liberal like Samson is a problem. Now, supporters of the opposition, I would say the opposition opposing to Senator Darius Dillon. And the reason I played that clip was that they grab a piece of puzzle here. Okay, let me just ask this here. Let's take this thing out of politics and take the realistic happening here. I did not hear him calling, I know I did hear him acknowledging Prophet Keith donation coming, but if I listen to the CDC, I listen to Dan and other folks now, they are running with it, that Prophet Keith, Darius Dillon has deployed Prophet Keith on his campaign. For sure, that I'm not sure, but I did hear him saying, he congratulated him. And there's a group of women that came out yesterday, I believe you have seen that video, who are also outraged about Darius Dillon's actions to validate Prophet Key here. And they say they are not voting. Well, whether it is a political ploy, that's a different ball game. But strategically, in a real-to-war time, do you think that was a wise decision? That's why they have hold on now.
It is not in my purview to qualify Senator Dillon. I am not here to second guess Senator Dillon. What I'm about to tell you is when you go on the list that was sent out to the community, to the reader, to the international community. I did not see Prophet Key on it, number one. Second thing, Prophet Key is a Liberian. When this young man opened his Facebook page, thousands of Liberians gravitated towards that. Are we now going to say because he used language that we are not comfortable with, because he used language that I don't agree with, does that negate his being a Liberian? He's a Liberian. And so if his name is called, does that mean that the person who called his name in support of that? So we call Gabaroni all the time. Does it mean we will in support of our actual?
Let's be honest here. I will be Amos Joyce, contributor Amos Joyce here, but you sound a little bit disingenuous here to say he called his name. He not just only called his name. Funds were also solicited in his behalf.
So please don't sideline this afternoon. Let's get to the main issue. Forget Prophet Key and what have you.
That's part of the parcel.
Whatever idea, whatever comment, however way Prophet Key, when he opened his platform, you got thousands.
That's not a point. You see, and this is why. No,
these are not thousands of Chinese. These are not thousands of Japanese. These are thousands of Liberians that gravitated towards this platform. So if his name is called, does that mean that Senator Dillon
are you in support? Are you? Listen, are you? Hold on, man.
No. You remember, you are journalists. You are journalists. So freedom of speech. You got your right to say whatever you want to say.
That's not.
As long as
we are not talking
it's
about
not in
freedom.
violation of the law.
We are not talking about freedom of speech. No, listen, that's not freedom of speech.
I'm not going justify or anything.
You're trying to walk away.
You can boost me into agreeing with these kinds of ideas. I'm a liberal.
You're trying to walk back here. Listen, you're trying to walk back here. So we're talking about good governance. We're talking about good society. Yes, it is true. When he comes on air, thousands and thousands, that is indisputable. That's something we cannot argue. But of course, we are talking about a sovereign nation, so where campaign funds and money is also coming from. Tomorrow, let me go to Pa George here. Let's see here what his argument will be here. Pa George, are you there?
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we're hearing you. Go ahead.
Okay. Look, this Prophet Key saying, I heard Prophet Key, I said, I heard Prophet Key saying that, he said he's not part of the Dillon campaign, but our donation, his pledge to the campaign of Senator Dillon.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I saw this when we came out to say that because Senator Dillon mentions Prophet Key, they are not supporting him again. But now, if these women are honest, everybody has a right. Nobody should get me wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But why they have not questioned all the things that Prophet Key have been doing for those other communities in Liberia? Why they are not told those communities to reject those things? Since they are asking citizens, since they have mentioned Prophet Key's name, they are not coming that they cannot support Senator Dillon. But all the things he have been doing, none of them rejected it.
Right.
All the communities, they are not rejected it because they say Senator Dillon. Now, here's the thing here. I do not agree. I do not agree with Professor Key. Professor Key, the thing he says, the language he uses. I don't agree with him. But if he pledges support, financial or moral to somebody as a Liberian, I think if he disagrees with him, fine, that's your right to disagree with him. But it's not a crime. It's not a crime. Because it's not just why were they women? The women that got platform cussing. They see what Prophet Key using. The other women come on the platform and using it. Why they can't question them? Why they can't question the other women? And you know it. Why they can't question the women and say no? They think it's not right. Because Mr. So you know it. I don't like it. I will not use it. But if someone uses it and you disagree with it, that's okay. But if you want to bounce the story, then what about your female who the abusive words? Have they seen no institution uses any abusive words? Is that what they want?
I mean, honestly, both sides have been really, it just been amazing. Both sides have just been, everybody just been doing that. The level of indiscipline in the political process of Liberia is just quite amazing.
Yeah, so they come out and say, I saw the women. They come out, oh.
So, quickly before I go to the liberal progressive here, do you think their actions is politically motivated?
That's just why I'm about to say so.
Do you think you're going to have an impact in any way, or just another waste of job on exercise we are on?
It will not have no impact because you can see it's motivated. It's motivated. No, it will not have no. It will not have no impact. And look what you said. Look at the community they came from. West Point. Okay, that community. Yeah, Luffy. Luffy was killed. Today, we don't know who killed her. We're still dead. Why did they come out to protest? Jeffrey was killed. Why did they come out to protest? So they believe in the cause of the women.
Okay.
The this woman from the community was killed. Why did they come out to protest? Why? If they saw independent and they know that the women are fighting for them, yeah, a lady who grew up in that community, who was born in that community, came from the beginning a light in that community, and she was mistreated, killed. Why didn't come out to protest? Why didn't join those people to go out and to protest about that lady that was killed from that community?
Okay.
So
all right.
Okay.
All right. Thank you. Let me go back to the liberal progressive. I don't want to keep him because his body is all itching and he's trying to. He said he fire up tonight. Oh my goodness. Okay, Pa George. Anything I call back? I'm going to put a number here. We're going to get people.
Okay. Yeah.
Those who want to make predictions, we're going to be the outcome of this election here. The liberal progressive.
Yes.
Okay, because I see your body is kind of like it's warming out there. I already want to talk. You listen to Pa George?
Yes. And I want to echo some of the point he made, and that is, Brother Key, he's a Liberian. I might not agree with some of the tactics, but here's the thing here. Brother Key uses his platform sometimes to help other Liberians go and solicit funds from other Liberians to be able to help people buy home. I don't see when men say, oh, that kind of money, that costs money, we don't want it. I that now they know that we're taking a boss. But besides that, Mr. So, this is just a political ploy on the part of the CDC, and they're not going anywhere. And apparently, the CDC, they have seen their own shadow. And so they're trying to brag onto every little straw.
Well, they are like a drowning. They are drowning. They are drowning, right?
Nowhere.
Are they
So
drowning?
any group you want to align yourself with CDC, you will be defeated because CDC is going nowhere.
So talk to me here, liberal progressive. You one of those in the opposition column. By your own declarations, you support the Liberty Party, which is something that you have the right to do. Put close to 118 seats at stake comes December 8th here. Where do you think, where is your attention being focused here in terms of these various counties, these battleground states, because that would give us some level of clue, the popularity, whether the president popularity is still high or whether it has diminished significantly. Which county, what are you really keeping close eyes on here in terms of this senatorial race?
To be honest with you, the two counties that send anybody, any Liberian eyes, Mosrala and Brambassa. But here's the thing, Mr. So. Here's the thing that some of us were looking at. If CDC come on top, this coming election, definitely the CDC will win 2023.
No,
So,
let me make it clear here. When you say come on top where?
if they win the senatorial race in Brambassa County and Mosrala County, if they win those key races, then that means that we are in the people are poised to take by the executive mansion 2023. But here's the problem that I have with that scenario as I lay it out. CDC, the fact that they continue to carry out these kinds of political maneuver that is not conducive to the country, that means it seems to me that they are in a big, they're putting themselves in a big bind and they don't know how to get out. Okay? You can't come to these positions. You already have the executive mansion. Okay? You're already in control of the House of Representatives and the Senate, pretty much. But for you to insist that you want to now increase your number, if that's the case, we must well go back to the day of 2-week practice. Some say one, some say more.
No, something.
Yes, this is our argument, Mr. Saul.
Something. I don't.
Yes.
I doubt here whether you really taking the real political right here. That's what you're talking is it's kind of lay over here. Let me see. I think you're getting a call here. I believe.
No. Tell me what do you mean by that? What do you mean?
I'm coming. No, don't worry.
What do you mean?
You know,
What
I
am I
was
saying?
saying.
That is out of.
Why would you to say that the people they get a executive brain and they want to increase here? Who doesn't want control of both houses in order to?
Mr. Saul, if you want a sincere government,
okay.
if you want a government for the people,
Hello, caller?
you don't try to increase your number to the point that there is no opposition.
Samson Tor.
Yes.
Hold on 1 second. There's a call here from UK. Let me bring the person in. Go ahead, caller. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name is Mr. Taylor.
Taylor. Welcome. Where are you calling from, Mr. Taylor?
The United Kingdom.
United Kingdom. That's why I made a good guess here. Okay, welcome to the programs on LPR TV. I guess you've been following the conversation a little bit. It's a sort of open mic here too, so you are at liberty to make your own input or injection into the program. Go ahead.
Yeah, let me just try to make a few points here.
Mm-hmm.
Look, with all the killing in your country, with all the hardship in your country is at war, facing an economical, political, social war. It has been at war since the WEA regime took over. In the first month, we know millions of dollars, or if not billions of dollars, was stolen. We know people has worked and hasn't been taking pay for 12 to 14 months. Now, it will be impossible for Liberian people to go to the poll to vote for the government that has enslaved them, for the government that has mistreated them, for the government that has carried on a lot of assassination on its citizens. Let's make this very clear. Except the government ripped the election, that's the only way. Our people are tired. You can fool the people, but you can't fool the people all the time. Things has changed. The dynamics of your country now has changed totally. Every Liberian wants the best for their future and their country. And how can they do this? Is by making sure that they go to the poll and vote against the present government. It is clear. We must understand that our country needs change. And we must have the courage to encourage our people to make a sound decision this time. And we know they are going to make a sound decision because they want to change, they want to elevate from being in an impoverished life to transform themselves. And the only way except the country can change. Except the government can except this government can leave power. So they will make that change, and we must encourage them to make that change as well.
Okay, before I go back to my colleague on the far end here, first of all, let's look at the premise or even the structure of this thing here in 30 seconds. Do you honestly believe in the process? First and foremost, you outlined a lot of good points here. Do you think it's conducive, first and foremost, to get this process to go ahead?
Which process?
The electoral process and the senatorial electoral process, considering all of the killing, the insecurity, and all that is going on here. Do you think it should go ahead? The process, is it conducive? And if it goes ahead, will we validate the result of these elections?
Look, definitely the process must go ahead. Now, there are fundings that have been available for the purpose, and definitely we hope that the process be transparent. That's what we want to see. Look, make no mistake about it. Our people are tired. Our people want to go to the poll so that CDC can understand that the people themselves are tired with their regime.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much. Let me go to my liberal progressive here. Hello.
Yeah, Mr. So.
Okay, this is the point that I was making here.
Yeah. Before we go to that, let me just make a few points that I think the brother spoke eloquently, and we respect that. However, I want to distance myself from some of the key points that I made. One of those is I am not connecting any killing with that of the government because I have no evidence. I am also trying to distance myself anything that has to do with violence. Like I said, I have buying a photo. The what now?
Go ahead.
Okay. I have a buying a photo of error from this government. And in this buying, I'm going to use it. But I'm not going to allow myself, because of my emotion, to try to connect this government to any killing. I have no proof. I have no evidence. And I'm not going to base the fight that I'm trying to say that Donald Dillon and everyone that go against CDC will win. I'm not going to campaign based on speculation. So I just want to make that point clear. Go ahead.
Okay, this is the point that I was making, and probably to put you over the edge, but I'm taking a realistic approach. In any government setting here, why you think Georgia now is the focus point? Because the two votes that are outstanding in the runoff is for one of the parties to get control of the House. So I mean, it is natural. So it doesn't matter whether you have the executive branch of government, of course. Even though it is not, will you give me a chance? Will you give me a chance? You are interrupting.
But this is what we do.
You are interrupting me.
Liberian.
No. That's not. It's not total business we are talking about. We are talking about a sovereign nation that is 173. It's a sovereign nation, even though there are a lot of things still ongoing here.
Mr. So, I am saying, and I know exactly what you're coming out of. So let me just interrupt. Not brutally, respectfully interrupt.
Intelligent.
Because I know exactly what you're for.
Why you want to predict what I want to say?
Because I know already.
So what am I going to say?
I'm not going to let you try to dissuade me.
You told me earlier that we are people to
sanction
sanction people's view. You're trying to sanction my view, my own opinion, how I feel about the
Mr.
process.
So, we liberal, we don't do those things. These are conservative ideas. So please go ahead and finish your point.
Wow, tonight is just unbelievable. Okay, again, every government settings, even in the great United States, in UK, if the gentleman is listening, the ruling party always want to be in control of the both houses, and there's a common reason for that. The reason is because they will want. I am not saying it must be done forcibly, but that's the political game, because the ruling party want to have it in the easier way to push our agenda. So it doesn't matter whether they're in control of the executive, because it's just a library, it's just some kind of place that people do it differently. That's all. But you know right here what happens when you in control of the Senate or in control of the. Why you think the Supreme Court judge will push? Why? It's because the ruling party, the Republican, they are in control of the Senate. And they are responsible for the confirmation, how they push it. So in order for the president's or the ruling party's agenda to forge ahead, it makes it much easier when they are in control of both houses. Then they have the number. It's all about the consensus. Go ahead. I think it'll calm you down.
Thank you, Mr. So. I understand your point, but I feel bad. Because here's the issue, Mr. So. Let's understand the dynamic, first of all. America has three branches of government. Like, we're going to have three branches of government. Liberia branches of government, 2 of them are weak, extremely weak.
Who's
And
responsible?
the most powerful among the 3 is the executive.
Who responsible for that? Who makes it
Oh,
weak?
Mr. So please don't kabuku dancing with me, please. Let me make my point. Please say your conservative idea. Let me make my liberal point, if you don't mind. So the idea here is this: we cannot say because it is the right of the ruling party to pack, and I'm using the word pack, to pack the legislature in their favor. That's fine. They got the number, they can do that. But when it comes to these kinds of governance, simplicity type of governance, where you have transparency, you cannot have in Liberia to have a government executive and you have the legislature. All 3 or 2 are in favor of one party. This is what we have back in the 18 something.
So are you
They call it a
saying?
two-way party.
I
You
understand.
can't say let me finish. You can't say nothing. It's one man, one vote. Now, let me give you some historical background, Mr. So. There's one man, one vote that we're preaching about. In reality, in true sense of one man, one vote, it started back in 2005. How long is that, man? We're still in the infancy stage. We're still learning. So we must not try to emulate those who have done their hundreds of years as though these type of things they are transferable in Liberia. They're not. So let me
When will we practice? So listen, when will we?
These kinds of behavior will not be accepted because our people have not gotten to that point.
When we are in the 21st century, we are in the
the
21st century. Who's gonna do that? Who's gonna make them to get to the point?
Mr.
I'm
So,
taking-
let
listen,
us
I'm
get
taking
there
it-
gradually.
Well, I
Don't
don't know.
force it on us.
No, no,
because
no.
this is our Conference Act.
Wait a minute. Samson, I don't understand what you are saying here this evening. Let's be very honest with you. I'm taking a really realistic and holistic approach of how people want government to work, whether it working in a good context. That's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. But I am only
But Mr.
saying.
So why would you say you don't care whether the government works in a good context or not? We're talking
I am
about
saying-
Nigeria. Remember, these
So
are the
then
same
what
behaviors
is
that
the
took us to
essence-
14, 15 years of civil war.
Why?
We
Because-
cannot go back to these things.
Because
The
so then
government
what's the
must
point?
resist. The
Then what's the-
government, the lieutenant dictator.
No.
The lieutenant dictator.
Let's not
This
jump
is how
here.
they come
Yeah,
to
let's
power.
let's not jump here and there. What is the point of the 3 branches of government if we would not want to make each to work separately as an independent entity?
But that's
Now
my
listen,
point.
okay,
That's
no.
exactly
Yeah,
my
boy,
point.
you're
The
giving the point. You are not giving
government
solution.
of trying to pack the legislature in their favor. So if they are successful,
Is it
having CEC
no,
pack the
listen.
legislature,
Is it against?
how then do you
Is it
expect
against? No, so are you saying?
bills to be passed
Samson, let's be
without
honest here.
any kind of argument from the other side?
Samson, let's be honest here. Are you saying is it against? Is it in violation of the Constitution?
Mr. So, no, that's not the issue.
But then what's the
They have
issue?
the constitutional right to elect
So
as many
if I-
CEC as you want.
If I was
However, what I'm arguing that we are not yet at that stage.
what
Give
time?
us time.
What
We don't
time?
want to regress back to civil war.
What
We
time
don't
are you
want to
talking about?
regress back to violence because Liberians, politicians, Liberian politicians
so
are
then,
not yet
Samson.
sophisticated enough to be able to compatibilize issues. They take one issue, either you for me or you against me. And this is how the Liberian
So
politicians
how do we
behave.
get? So
And
how
this
do
is why we say that we must resist.
and you are behaving that same way. But let me go to the callers here to give them a point here. Mr. Kennedy King Koro was asking me what is the agenda. Honestly, I do not know the agenda because the agenda I don't see any of them talking. But here is the thing here. The 118 you have 74 going as the independent that I guess will have a free thinking mind, and most of these people went in the same way. What happens? Taking the switch around. But let me go to Pat George and this gentleman here. Guys, are you there? Hello?
Yes, I'm right here. I'm right here.
Okay, yeah, quickly. This is the talking point that we are having. You are in UK that they have the liberals and the conservatives also there. And it is natural that the ruling party always wants to have the edge in terms of having both houses in their control in order to push the party's agenda. Whether the party agenda will be done the right way, it will not be done the right way, but that's the ultimate goal. I mean, it's just natural phenomenon. So is it wrong that like what my colleague is saying on the far end there, that okay, the other party wants to pack people there because we can't sanction people's participation in electoral process. And the only thing we can do, we can vigorously campaign to make sure that we stop that. But to say, okay, because they have the executive branch of government now, we can't allow them to pack other people there. I don't think that's a realistic approach. That's my view.
You see, I just hate to compare Liberia to other countries, but let's say in general, every country or every government wants to have control over the Senate, meaning they want to have more members of their political party in the Senate. In that case, the government is certain to be successful. Those are some of the reasons in passing some of the bills, in doing something that
they will be in charge of important committees, and stuff like that.
That's correct. That's 100% correct. That's 100% correct. And in that case, they will want to complete their task, what they have said to their people, to have a lot of achievements. So definitely they will need the support of the Senate. In the case of Liberia, it's different. Let's understand that this government has been involved with a lot of, let me just say, crimes against humanity. Presently going on in your country. People are not looking at that direction. We know that the Justinian issues, the government was involved. We know that the situation with those editors, the government was involved. We know the government has committed a lot of violation on the Constitution. We know that the government has depleted more than 150 million from, and the World Bank also stated that. We know that this government has continued to cause atrocity against its own people. There's no secret about it. We know that there is not an investigation that's being conducted and has come to a climax. These are situations our people are going through. We must face the reality. The government is responsible for most of the crimes that are being committed in the country. We must not shy away from that, and we must be able to speak on that, because it's clear the international community is monitoring. A lot of people don't know and not looking at it from that perspective. But people who are within the international community, in the international war, you see, the civilized world today expect everybody to act in accordance to protect its own people and act in accordance with the rule of law and international law as well.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much. Okay. Pa George, you want to make your point before I go to Mr. To? Pa George, are you there? Hello? Okay. Okay, let me come back to you. The Liberal, are you there?
Yes, I am. Yes, I'm ready. I'm here.
Okay, so yeah, I mean that's my view. Okay, let's look at some of the smooth operation here. About 5,390 polling stations are going to be involved in the entire electoral process of 28 political parties partaking. The security aspect, should we have reason to be concerned?
Well, there's nothing guaranteed. And so, but I am not going to preempt any kinds of security issues. I know there's possibility for that because I mean we're talking a country, so the security issue is going to be a concern at all times. But I trust the Liberian people, and I trust the Liberian people in terms of expressing themselves legally in terms of voting. So I do not see Liberian trying to circumvent the process. So I hope and I trust that they will do the right thing.
Yeah, for Matat, I'm telling you, 28, little tiny country like that, 28 political parties. And this year, the senatorial race, you have 2,183,629 registered voters. I wouldn't be surprised. Most of are going to take a good chunk. The precincts, 2,180, and then polling centers, 5,390 for the total of 118 seats. 74 of those they claim to be independent. I'm quite sure they are not independent because by the time they get elected tomorrow, they will start wherever the breeze blow. That's where they're going to go. It's saddened. The female, 28 candidates. Something. Do you think this give the women the full participation in the process? Out of the 20 female candidates, one is already out that I know about, and then we have 19 to go. Is it paving the way for the participation of the female candidates in Liberia?
Not at all. Not at all. And this, as a Liberian, I think we the men should be embarrassed and ashamed. Because most of the women that are in the political arena are tough women. They're very smart and intelligent. However, the Liberian men and some of the things that we get, information we're getting, these are not conducive for women to get involved. There are too much of foolishness. It's sexual, it's ridiculous the way the behavior was. The women are just capable of leading, just like men are. But because the men in Liberia, because they feel they're in position, if you want me to run your campaign or if you want me to do X, Y, and Z, you got to do X. What kind of foolishness is that? These are things we will not and should not tolerate as a country. But the women are much more comfortable. In fact, like I was saying, because of the foolish behavior of these men, I think they're afraid that when the woman take over, they will do more and do better than the men will do. So having only about the group is not enough. It's not enough. The women are just, in fact, they're not more smarter than the men. I would say so. The women are much more intelligent. Let me give you an example. How many Liberian men are to tell their children on their bike? How many Liberian men are to tell their children on the bike and go get water and get firewood? How many Liberian men are able to address their children to go to school in the morning and what have you? Not many. So these are the kinds of reforms that women among us have. So we must respect that. It's just the foolishness that goes on. No, that number is not enough, Mr. So.
Yeah, and we have 98 male candidates in the race, so just imagine how it looked like. And so when I saw this letter from this other female candidate that is getting out of the race, and she outlined a real legitimate reason, 44 independents. Those people are not genuine independents. They are not free thinkers. They are just going in there. By the time they use that, either because they feel insecure of getting the vote, either they align with one of the parties. They say, okay, let me just be independent. But by the time they get elected, it's crazy. Let's just look at the summary, a quick run through here. We don't have much time here. Just keep me posted. Bombing, we have 5 candidates. Bon County, there are about 8 contesting. Bapolut, we have 9 contesting. Everybody want to go for the 9-year term. Grand Bassa, 8 candidates. Grand Cape Mount, 10th. Grand Judet, your county, my county, we have 9. Grand Crew, 9. Lofa, 11. Mount Gibby, 7th. Maryland, 8. Moserado, 10, of course. That's the Powerball land. Nima, 7th. River G, 4. River says 9th. Sino, 4. I think 4 is the lowest number so far. Just imagine. and some of them their parties and but anyway, you see it that we notice that they have about 28 political parties forming coalitions and all of that, but all in all total, if we were to do a hair counts, there are 28 political parties involved. What's your time here? I know we're going to be here for a little short time here. What's your time there to you?
Well, my time right now, as I'm looking at all these clocks, it's 5 o'clock.
Are you kidding me? So you
So I will entertain your conservative idea for another half an hour, and then I will have to excuse myself.
Yeah, okay, yeah, I mean, that makes sense here. I have a tape here. I want us to really listen to this here. Let me see what I have here. Because this is what the seditions, most of their supporters too are running with, which doesn't even make sense here. But I'm really keeping eyes on Moserado, Grand Basso, and Nima County. Alexander Cummings, he's in the southeastern side, vigorously campaigning. Do you think they are on the right track in terms of the message being sent out there so much so far, both by the candidate themselves and their surrogates, their supporters?
Well, the opposition, the CPP, they're doing well. They're doing well. I haven't had that debacle that started in Nima County. I think they themselves need to put themselves together and they will be successful because Liberians are eager for change. Liberians are anxious to seriously sideline the CDC government. But they're going to want somebody that they're going to have to trust, somebody they're going to believe in. You can't just come in and say because you feel like Liberian people want to dislodge the CDC government from power, therefore you will just come and steamroll the entire process. That's not going to happen. So if you do that, you're putting Liberian people back into the CDC cap.
So what's the
So the best thing you can do is what Mr. Cummings is doing. But in order for Mr. Cummings to truly be successful, Mr. Cummings and Mr. Bernard Uri issue must be resolved. They must always be on the same page. Once that's happening, we will be successful.
So meaning from what I'm trying to sense out from you, there are some sort of differences yet that cohesiveness to move as a collaboration is not that. I think Yeka has been
Not yet.
Yeah, Yeka has been out of the scene these few days. I don't know what's going on.
Well, I'm not too sure what is happening with Yeka either, but I think Yeka is just taking a little breather and said, let's see how far we're going to go with this thing. And I don't blame Yeka. I don't blame Yeka because things are just getting too a little bit rough for him. And he's a human being like any other person. He has his own family to take care of. He has his own health to look after. So I don't really get to step in the side for 1 or 2 months. That's okay. He'll be back. He'll be back.
Okay, Rabbi Salif crossing over to to Tifa. That's quite amazing. Is that a news?
Surplus for us. Surplus for us. Or crook. Coming your way. The man who spent time in the Central Presidency, he's coming to support you now. Okay, well, that's fine. That's fine. These are the kinds of error that the CDC government will continue to give us, and we will campaign on those things. Who is Robert Selly? Robert Selly has been the CDC government accused Robert Selly of misappropriating funds. And those issues were not quite to our satisfaction, quite, but not adjudicated. And now here's the man, now you're going to say he's your supporter now. Okay, that's okay. But these are things Liberians are looking after. Those Liberians that have issues with Monaseri and her cronies, her friends, and nepotism. Now you're going to bring Robert Selly, not Robert Selly, what's his name? The other Selly, that's not Robert Selly,
Yeah,
that's the other Selly.
Charles.
The guy, the central bank guy.
Yeah, Charles.
Okay?
Yeah, the child
Yeah.
to say
So
something.
you're gonna bring in to be a supporter. That's fine. We like that. Liberians are sophisticated. Look at the kind of thing that T-Father is doing to us. Because you feel you have the number. What exactly Robert said he's going to bring on the table as your supporter? What is he going to bring on? What kinds of experiences is he going to? This is the man that was accused by the same government, by you, and your group. You're accused. Now you may come to support you. So should we say now that because you were seeking his support, that's why you're making a deal in the background? Can we suggest that? Can we speculate on that? No, I don't want to touch that. But these are things that why Liberians find it difficult to trust the leadership of this country. These are some of the reasons why Liberians find it difficult to gravitate towards the guy on the intellectual level for this country. Because you do these things. A few months ago, the Salim was in jail. He has the right to support whoever he wants to. But to make it into a center stage, as though nothing had happened in Nigeria in terms of his involvement with the Central Bank of the Republic of Nigeria. Who do you think we are? We're so stupid? No, Nigerian eyes are open. You do that, okay? We know who you are. This is why you behave like that. And this is why dollars they don't want to defeat the Moscow.
Okay, that's the liberal progressive of the Liberal Public Radio, Samson Brown Toe. Okay, well, Samson, I do not really want to catch up with your time, but it's interesting. We're going to see how this plays out. Today is the 20th. 17 days, I believe 17 days to go in Liberia. We're going to see how this whole process play out. All we want a free, fair, open, transparent process where there will be no harassment and all of that. We want to make sure that the security be the security for the people, not necessary for the elite, because we want people to vote. Let them turn out. Let them go vote. There must be no intimidation. And I think that has been the challenge.
Let me make this point, piggyback on your point here as well. Liberians, you must go to the poll. Do not think, the government going to cheat. Therefore, I'm not vote for the waste. No, you don't know that. Whether the government going to cheat you, or who going to cheat you, forget about it. None of your business. Go and cast your vote. If the government cheat, and they decided they're going to cheat, there are Liberians who will be there to say, no, this is wrong. They have a system. But don't sit back and expect that things will happen. You don't know if the government is going to cheat. This government will not cheat. This will be fair and free and fair. Go and vote. Go and vote. Vote dollars daily to keep the light and to continue to shine on the ills of the Republic of Nigeria, what is happening in the society. Vote dollars daily. Dollars daily. You're going to not forget. Thank you, Mr. So.
The Liberal Progressive. Is it fair? Because I was talking to somebody, I said, well, this time I don't think having protests at this sort of time, it doesn't make sense. It's not going to do you good. That protest should translate into actual vote by turning out people, by encouraging people to make sure, because if they're not registered, we have 2 million people to register for this whole senatorial process here, but you have to vote. That's what happens here. People here, what they do for the most part, they will protest, they will do everything, but that outreach will be there to tell the people, you know what, these people that were sent to Capitol Hill, they are not doing what is right, so we have to recard them, we got to retire them, let them go back home. As a result, when they turn out in huge number, what happens? The vote is the one that's going to produce the result. So if you know that the process, you are not happy with the lawmakers, and most of them, they are there. I believe most of them, they need to go because there's nothing tangible that they are producing. And what you say makes sense. If the leaders, if these people can not remind their people, go and vote, and you say, well, okay, maybe the process, if I vote, say it won't make, because that's how people do. If I vote, not even one vote can make difference. Of course it does. So go and cast your vote, because if you vote or not, whatever decision that is taken, it's going to be to your advantage or disadvantage, depending where it's going to go. So You want to be part of the process so that you will be
You're right. You're right, Mr. So I think one of the things also that I want to say is that the electoral process itself is going to be safe. The people that had the protest the last time, I'm not too sure how who was advising it. That was the wrong time. The protest time was ill-advised. Let's put it this. You want to protest close to the election. That many of the people you're supporting are participating in the election. Why that thing has turned sour? We will have a big mess. You want to protest at this time. You go from door to door and remind the voters why you wanted to protest. You remind the voter why you think this government needs to be defeated, especially Trump. You remind the voter. You don't go in the city to go and have a protest. Why are you protesting right now? It's because the same thing that is happening, you don't like it. The Constitution, use the constitutional mandate as the means of protest. Other than that, you don't need to be in the street. Go from house to house, community to community, and make your case. Don't get in the street. So I think the protest was not something that I was in support of anyway.
Honestly, the basis of if it defeats your own purpose. I think, and I know in third world countries like Liberia, it's always to the disadvantage of the opposition when it comes to election. Why? The ruling party always use the state resources to wage and campaign to do everything. Nobody go after them. You can't do it because the power is within their domain. They have the power. So the only thing you can do is to vigorously go out there, talk to your supporters, make sure even from the onset, encourage people to register. There's 2 million plus here. I don't know. That's the country. Anyway, it's a senatorial election. But I think if you look at this number here, I think good chunk going to come from Mosorado County. So then what becomes of these other counties that are predominantly, they are also crowded, like Bon County, like Nima County, Lofa. So I don't think there was a really outreach in terms of these political parties, their surrogates, their supporters to tell people to register, because you have what 2,183,629 registered voters for this May term senatorial election. I think that's even though you're almost gone half of the country population, that's not too bad. But I hope people to really register, because if not, it's just going to be a waste of time here, because then your voice will not be heard. All right, the Liberal Progressive, I want to thank you so much. Here tomorrow I'm going to be having what his name? What is that?
You're telling me thank you for hosting me. This is my way of saying thank you to you as well. Don't be afraid, Mr. So. The cartel, the other cartel, it comes from Town. And it comes from America. The Maoist cartel, they kill over in the East Coast, they kill going around. The coronavirus cartel, this is the real one.
Okay, all right. The Liberal Progressive, thank you so much. And we're going to do it again. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Good night, folks.
Maki, don't mind that man that he find he went sleep on that crazy. That cartel where man no original, not even the original, that's the fake one you see there. So I
am sent all over the world and I found over the like you. Only you I serve every day. I will pour my love on you. That's why when I wake in the morning I sing my praise to you. In the night, oh, now you are the call. Now you the way. Now you
it's time to all of the stakeholders, it's time to remind your voters to be vigilant. I think this is the time you're supposed to initiate something, to do what I call a robocall, create a text message to get your supporters, to get them out, to make sure that they vote before even 12 noon, if it is possible. That's what you're supposed to be doing. Anything like protest at this time, now, you just you're defeating the purpose of a good cause. So you gotta be very strategic. That's how people do it. Encourage the people to vote, to turn out to vote. You're supposed to be having the people phone numbers, reminding them, have you voted? Do you need RA? Those are the kind of strategy. But everybody just like talking alone can't do it. It's implementation time. You need to implement. If you talk, and if it is not practicalized, if it is not implemented, if it is not put to the finishing line, then all your talking is for nothing. It is for nothing. So you need to, if you talk, you implement what you talk.
International dance for my supernatural love. That's right. Melody in my heart. This will see you back. I sing because I'm happy. I sing because I'm free. Oh, yeah, follow me. The peace like God has no love. I cannot tell it so.
Well, folks, so we're going to put the curtain down. I'm going to be back at 4 o'clock tomorrow Eastern Standard Time. I'm going to be hosting the former chair of the ruling party, Isaac Vatoga, is in Liberia. He's contesting for Moserado County. Did he made a wrong political choice years back? How will his message resonate with the voters? By the way, he contested for Riverside the last time around. Now he's in Moserado. Who listened? Will somebody listen to him? What his message?
I will pour my love on you. Oh, yeah, follow me. Oh, yeah, follow me.
Oh, in the interest of African solidarity, taking you to Nigeria here this evening by Monica Salute. It's a beautiful gospel song, you know. Yeah, so that's how we're going to do it. So tomorrow, I'm going to be hosting Isaac Vatoga. He's going to be my guest tomorrow at 4 o'clock. And then on Sunday, we're going to be hosting Serena's Cephas Ace. And that's what I'm focused on, the security aspect. To make sure that the process itself is transparent, free of harassment, that Liberians should be able to go to the polls and vote freely without any security interference. And we want to know how GOL, that's the government of Liberia, in conjunction with the institution that is responsible to conduct these elections, that's the National Elections Commission, to carry on this process, the electoral process in the 15 political subdivision. I am concerned that's something we need to know. We don't want, it's not only Moroya. Moroya is just Manu, it's just only the capital. You have the other 14 political subdivision. Polling centers are about 5,390. There's the security apparatus. Will they be there? And one of the challenging things is for those participating parties, because it is your responsibility now, NEC, to have representation at these polling centers, and this is where the problem comes from. And all of these people who will be chanting, supporting this, are doing this. This is where the volunteerism comes into play, and that's why you need to volunteer. You need to talk to your supporters. They don't. If you like something, if you know that there's a system, the system is not good, or the system is good, and you want to maintain it. It is your choice, and part of that is to support the process. That's what the people do here. We have to emulate all of these good things. People volunteer for something that they have conviction, that they strongly believe in. You decide to be pool washer, you don't get water in 30 minutes, you leave. No, you are there for a cause, freedom, liberation, redemption, it doesn't come so freely. It comes with pain. It comes with a lot of pains and a lot of agony. So this is where you're supposed to be encouraging your people. Those who even have phones. If your campaign people can afford to get a phone to you, you have your own phone, you want to start saving a little dollar or two now to put data on it so that you will feel your headquarters with things that are happening so that you'll be able to take picture. But it's unfortunate because we have used to this system here so much in Liberia, and it is so difficult. The idea of spoon feeding people, the political process in Liberia is different from any other place on planet Earth. You, the politicians, you are the one that have to give money to people to vote for you. And this is why sometimes when the people get the state power, they don't wonder all the money the person was spending for the period of 9 or 6 or 7 months within that electoral process. Yeah, the men are mortgages now. Some people now sell all of their assets, their property, because they know what they're going to get. But because they pay you for that vote, bear in mind they're going to get double than what they gave you before they even think about supporting your agenda. And these are things that we're supposed to educate our voters on, our electorates, our people. And I'm concerned about the futures of the young generation. This sort of battlecry business that is being introduced by all of the political actors in Liberia is quite amazing. And I think people need to how to call it, they need to do something about it. What is the future of the youth? It's not just all about sinking to hear all like this 24/7. No, you give these people, you carry these people, you're after voting them into offices, they just give you a little bit handout. That's all, nothing else. So we need to adapt a system, and we all need to work hard to make sure that the process it works for all of us. But other than that, we keep doing this, and we're not going to have a change system, and that is so bad. Until then, I'm Alfonso Ziensot of the Liberia Public Radio and LPR TV. I want to thank you so much for being part of today's program.
Our deepest condolences also go to a mother, one who I call mother, very passionate about our well-being. Mother Josephine, who lost her husband for a week ago. Our deepest condolences to her, and we ask that God will grant her solace during this period of bereavement. We'll see her after this press conference. Well, the Supreme Court has lifted the temporary bar on campaign-related activities. So we are here today purposely, primarily, to name our campaign team. Just before we do that, we want to say special thank you to all of our people across the county, Liberians home and abroad, Liberians in other counties who will not vote in Montserrat County because they don't reside here, but they too are placing calls to the people here and praying for a successful outcome, victory for our senatorial bid. We want to say a special thank you again to the Friends of Dillon, Liberia, for the initiative, the Dollar for Dillon rally, successfully ended in yesterday. so to speak, they presented us not just the symbolic check.
Relationship with the local leadership, the local government, and we were successful to have been member of our caucus where we serve as member. We went to assistant secretary on the caucus leadership, and then we went to the position of co-chairman, and today I serve as the caucus chairman of the Mossel Valley Legislative Caucus. I will manage them, and I think we have cultivated that because I was still there in our working relationship, and we have built over the year. We come with a perfect leadership. I think history is there. Now we have networked even with the opposition community. Since 2005, we have worked with our colleagues in the former ruling party, Unity Party. We were in the CDC. We built that working relationship. It's a strong network that we built. And today we are part of the ruling party. Though we have our colleagues and friends from the opposition, we also have a network. In the legislature, it's about network building. It's not about singular individual, no matter how well you propound or how well you push an issue. If you don't solicit the support of your colleagues, sometimes you may be making sense on what you think is right for the people, but the first thing you have to build a consensus within the legislature. So we have come with the calorie, we have come with a little knowledge in terms of the governance and running of Mossel Valley County. So I think we got a pedigree, we got a know-how, we got the connections. We can also put on the table working with our colleagues using our network to make sure that we bring those basic social services to our people in Mossel Valley County.
Everything's going bad. The situation getting worse. Everybody in the country getting mad. Dishonesty, poverty on the rise. The leaders them making empty promises. Promises for no damn strategies. Yeah, this is better days, money in the pockets. Oh, after holidays only for the bosses. Yeah, there's a better days, money in your pockets. Oh, after holidays only for the bosses. Oh yo, hey, what about the children? What about the people? What about your families? What are they gonna eat? Yeah, so 70 they care about you. They don't care, my people, it's true. They don't wanna see you break through. The whole country's getting